May 9, 1980, 7:34 in the morning. The Summit Venture, 35,000 tons of phosphate and steel, is fighting a blind squall in lower Tampa Bay. Radar's gone snowblind from the storm stack. The captain can't see 20 feet past the bow. Then the silhouette appears. Too late. A bone-jarring crunch. Steel shrieks like a dying animal. 6 seconds. That's all it took. 1,300 feet of the Sunshine Skyway's west span tears loose and drops straight into the drink, 150 feet down. A Greyhound bus loaded with 26 souls, 6 cars, 1 pickup truck, all gone, plunging nose first into black water. No brakes, no warning, no time to pray. 35 men, women, and children dead before the echo of that collision finishes bouncing off the mangroves. The bus driver, Wesley McIntyre, still gripping the wheel when they pulled his body out. Hands locked so tight they had to break his fingers to get him loose. One of the deadliest bridge collapses in American history, and every damn bit of it was preventable. Because the men who designed that bridge in 1954 knew the piers sat in the goddamn kill zone. They knew the clearance was too low, the channel too crooked, the protection too cheap. They built it anyway, and 35 paid the tab in full. So you tell me, boys, when the state of Florida looked at that beautiful skyline and decided saving a few $1,000,000 was worth gambling with working men's lives, why the hell did they rebuild the very same death trap 17 years later? Stick with me, because what happened next will make your blood run cold. America was still drunk on victory and cheap concrete. Florida wanted to stitch St. Petersburg to Bradenton without making nobody drive all the way around the bay. 15 miles of open water, shoals, and hurricanes that'll peel the paint off a bulldozer. They called it the Sunshine Skyway, prettiest damn thing most men had ever seen. Longest cantilever span on the planet when she opened. 664 feet between the main towers. That record stood for years. Truckers still talk about it like it was a woman they lost too young. But here's the part they don't put on the postcards. The state was broke after the war. Korea was eating money. Eisenhower was building interstates. And Florida said, "We ain't got but $22 million for this bridge. Make it work." So the engineers did what engineers do when the bean counters hold the checkbook. They cut corners you can't see from the road. They hung the main span a measly 150 feet above mean high water. That's it, 150. A loaded Liberty ship sits 135 feet from keel to mast light. Add a tall pilot house and you're damn near kissing the bottom of the bridge on a good day. Worse, the shipping channel runs hard left just south of the bridge. Outbound ships, heavy as sin, come screaming around that bend at 12 knots, pushed by a 3-knot current and whatever wind God decides to throw that morning. And right there, right in the natural drift line where every captain ends up when the radar goes blind, sat Pier 2S. Only 550 feet off the channel edge. No dolphins, no rock islands, no fenders worth a damn. Just 2 naked concrete legs standing in 35 feet of water like they were daring the ocean to take its best shot. The Coast Guard screamed. Pilots wrote letters. One old bar pilot told the commission flat out in 1953, "You put those piers there, one day a ship will drift 200 yards left and take the whole damn bridge down." They patted him on the head, said budget constraints, and poured the concrete anyway. $22 million bought Florida the longest, cheapest, most arrogant middle finger ever pointed at Mother Nature. And Mother Nature, boys, she always collects. You ever stand on a catwalk 150 feet up while a 35,000-ton freighter slides under you doing 12 knots in a squall? I have. Felt like standing on a diving board while a freight train rolls underneath. And I'm telling Twin Falls, Idaho, 1954. They knew exactly what they were building. They just never thought they'd have to pay the bill. But they did. And the interest was measured in blood. Next, I'm going to show you exactly how fast physics turns steel and concrete into a widowmaker. And when I'm done, you'll never look at that pretty golden cable bridge the same way again. You can't fix stupid, but you sure as hell can armor against it. Florida just chose not to. Let's walk through exactly how a bridge dies, slow and technical, the way us old dogs like it. Tampa Bay's main shipping channel is a crooked son of a bitch. Comes in from the Gulf, takes a hard dogleg south of Mullet Key, then runs northeast straight at the Skyway like it's got a grudge. Width at the bridge, 950 feet, bank to bank. That's it. A Panamax freighter is 106 feet wide. Add storm surge and current swing, and your safe lane shrinks to maybe 600 feet on a good day. Now throw in a spring squall. Visibility 0. 40-knot southwest wind on the stern. 3-knot ebb tide under the keel. Rain so hard the radar return looks like TV snow. That ship is a 35,000-ton pool cue on greased rails. The Summit Venture was outbound, riding low. 608 feet long, drawing 35 feet. Gross tonnage 19,734, but fully loaded with phosphate, she displaced damn near 35,000 tons at 12 knots, roughly 1,200 feet per minute. Her stopping distance in calm water, engines full astern, rudder hard over, was 2,800 to 3,000 feet. That's half a goddamn mile, boys. From the edge of the channel to Pier 2S, 550 feet. Do the math. She was already dead the second the captain lost sight of the range lights. When that bow hit the pier at 11.8 knots, the impact force was roughly 28 million pounds. The pier didn't stand a chance. Concrete exploded like drywall. The whole support bent downstream. The deck above it peeled off its bearings, and 1,298 feet of span dropped straight down in 6 seconds flat. Momentum doesn't negotiate. Here's the knife twist they never put on the evening news. After 35 people got turned into red mist and twisted steel, after the whole country saw that Greyhound bus floating upside down on the 6 o'clock news, Florida spent $244 million building the new bridge. Opened in '87. Gorgeous golden cables. Main span 1,200 feet wide. Piers pushed way the hell out of the channel. Ringed with 48 massive concrete dolphins that'll stop anything short of an aircraft carrier. But the southbound pier, Pier 2S, the one that actually murdered those people, they left it standing. From 1981 to 1993, 12 extra years. A jagged concrete stump sticking 50 feet out of the water, wrapped in caution tape, lit up like a Christmas tree, sitting right there in the drift lane as a cost-saving measure. They couldn't be bothered to blow the damn thing down until the new bridge was paid for. 6 more years of every harbor pilot in Tampa waking up in a cold sweat, knowing that if his engine quit or his rudder jammed, that pier was still waiting to finish the job. That, gentlemen, is what we in the trade call criminal negligence with a hard-on. And if you think that kind of cheap bastard thinking died with the old bridge, you stick around. Because next, I'm going to put you behind the wheel of that Greyhound bus for the last 4 seconds of Wesley McIntyre's life. And then I'm going to introduce you to the men who still run this route every single day, knowing one tired moment, one blown tire, one drunk in a pickup, and they're taking the same ride. If you've ever pulled 38,000 pounds across high steel in a crosswind, hit that subscribe button right now, because what's coming will make your knuckles go white all over again. May 9, 1980, 7:33 a.m. The rain is coming down in sheets so thick it feels like you're underwater. Captain John Larrow is on the bridge wing of the Summit Voyage, soaked to the bone, screaming into the VHF for the harbor. Voice of the pilot belt is breaking up in static. Radar screen is pure white hash. He never sees the bridge until it's already too late. 7:34:07. Bow kisses Pier 2S at 11.8 knots. 28 million pounds of force. The pier explodes. The entire west span lifts 6 inches, then drops like God cut the cables. Up on the roadway, Wesley McIntyre is doing 62 miles per hour, southbound, in a brand new Eagle bus. 26 passengers, mostly retirees headed to the dog track. Coffee's still warm in the cup holders. Wesley's hands are at 10 and 2, same as they've been for 28 years. Then the road just disappears. 4 seconds. That's how long he had. 4 seconds of free fall. 150 feet. Wesley never lets go of the wheel. They found him still strapped in, arms locked straight, knuckles white, eyes wide open, staring at the ceiling that was now the floor. His passengers floated around him like broken dolls in the upside-down cabin. Water was 72 degrees. Most of them were alive when the bus hit. None of them were when it stopped filling. 35 gone. One survivor, Richard Hornbuckle, riding in a '74 Buick. He landed on the bow of the Summit Venture itself, 150 feet down. Car balanced on the anchor windlass, like God had a sense of humor that morning. Walked away with a broken arm and nightmares that still wake him up screaming 44 years later. Fast forward 39 years. May 17, 2019. Same storm track. Same blinding rain. MV RSI Arrow, 600 feet, 39,000 tons. Loses all power 2 miles south of the new bridge. Engines dead, rudder dead. Drifting sideways at 4 knots straight for the dolphins. Pilot on the radio, voice shaking. We're gonna hit it. We're gonna hit it. Crew drops both anchors, chains screaming out like machine gun fire. The bow stops 200 yards short of the concrete ring. 200 yards. Pilot lights a cigarette with shaking hands and says to the recorder, clear as day, if that had been the old bridge, we'd have done it again. Same damn day, same damn way. And today? Today you've got boys running 80,000 pounds gross across that new deck at 60 miles per hour, 430 feet in the air, cables humming in 70 miles per hour crosswinds that'll stand a rate on 2 wheels if you sneeze wrong. Guardrails 42 inches high, 1 blown steer tire, 1 drunk in a rental car, 1 microsleep at the wheel, and you're sailing out into nothing but blue sky and a long, long time to think about it on the way down. No runoff, no second chance, just the water waiting like it always has. I've hauled reefer loads across that bridge at 3 a.m. with the wind rocking me so hard the trailer chains were sinning. You keep both hands on the wheel, both eyes on the mirror, and you pray the man coming the other way is doing the same, because the sea don't forget, and neither do we. Next, the final verdict. I'm going to tell you why that bridge still stands proud as ever, and exactly who's still paying the real price for it every single day. Don't you dare touch that remote. Here's the cold truth, brothers. The new Sunshine Skyway is the safest big bridge in America. 37 years, 0 ship strikes, not one. Those golden cables sing in the wind. The dolphins stand like concrete linebackers. And the main span is so wide you could run 2 abreast with room for a prayer between. She's a hell of an apology, but that's exactly what she is. An apology written in $244 million and 35 coffins. Because none of it, not the wider channel, not the impact-absorbing dolphins, not the extra 300 feet of clearance, none of it was rocket science in 1954. They knew how to do it then. They just wouldn't pay for it. 35 working people had to die on live television before the politicians found the guts and the cash to build it right. That's the part that still burns me after all these years. Today, every sunrise, 1,000 trucks roll across that high deck. Port Manatee to I-75. Phosphate, orange juice, cruise ship passengers, Amazon boxes, cattle, steel, diesel, dreams. It's the only direct shot. No detour. You either climb that bridge or you sit dead in the water. So the boys still do it. They grip that wheel at 4 a.m., coffee gone cold, eyes burning, knowing 1 crosswind gust at the top, 1 idiot on a cell phone, 1 blown tire, and the state of Florida gets another headline and another family gets a folded flag. They do it because rents do, because the company says run it or walk, because America still runs on diesel and balls. The Sunshine Skyway stands there today, tall, golden, and goddamn beautiful, postcard perfect. But every old driver who crosses her knows what she really is. She's a monument to the day the bureaucrats finally learned that skimping on steel and concrete is just a slow way of murdering the working man. And the interest is always paid in blood. If this one hit you in the chest the way it still hits me, you know what to do. Smash that subscribe button. Drop your handle and the worst bridge you ever had to cross in the comments. I read every single one, because some debts never get marked paid in full. Not as long as we're still rolling. See you on the high steel, boys.